Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Late Night Dental Marketing Talk with your host Paul Speziali, or Paul on Dental Town. Tonight is going to be a great night. Why is it going to be a great night? Because we're going to be talking about how to sell more cases and how to increase your treatment plan acceptance. You know, to the average public, they would probably consider this boring. But to you and I, this is fascinating stuff because it makes a transformation on your business so that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish, whether it's expanding your business, putting more money in your pocket, helping more people, putting your kids through college, whatever. The more people we can help, the more people will help us. And that's the rule. So that's the question I get is, how can I increase my treatment plan acceptance and then sell more cases? First of all, as I mentioned in an earlier video, the battle is won before it is fought. So you need these two things. You need positioning and you need systems. If you don't have positioning and you don't have systems, then it makes it very difficult to market, sell more cases, and also to convince people that you're presenting to go ahead with their treatment. Avoiding objections such as, oh, it costs too much, or let me think about it. Let's stop hearing that. Now, having yourself correctly positioned, as I do in the big case marketing system that I have, is that I make sure that you're a local celebrity authority, which is the highest level of influence you can get. Because if people see you constantly on TV and they're also seeing that you're an authority on a subject, of course you're a doctor, so therefore you're automatically an authority, but still, a celebrity authority like Dr. Oz commands more influence over more people, and we want to accomplish something like that on the local level. By being correctly positioned, people will seek you out. You can spend less money on your marketing so that people will come in, they'll find you out. It's more interesting to people. It gives them a hook, who to call at this certain point of time. They know to call you. It also prevents a lot of problems. Like, when someone's figuring out whether they want to go forward with your treatment plan, you want to make sure that your positioning gets rid of a lot of the objections they're going to have to it. And that's what happens. Do you think a lot of Dr. Oz's patients constantly bickering with him about this treatment that they should be getting? No. It's a matter of fact. If you're a celebrity authority, you command the highest level of influence. The next one, of course, is systems. So by having proper systems in place, you can deliver these messages. You can deliver content to people, all sorts of people, and you want to put them in a pipeline so that because it's a process going from cold to warm, which means never meeting you before to knowing who you are and taking your treatment. If they're in a process, then they get educated, they get entertained, they also get their objections handled, and they feel better at it. So by the time they're finished the process, which is happening in the background while you're sleeping, so while you are sleeping, someone is going through the process and getting more and more warmed up to taking your treatments. Now that's what it's all about. Hygiene upsell. Having your hygiene department constantly reinforcing your treatment plans, constantly pointing out things in a patient's mouth, building rapport with the patient. You want that to happen on a regular basis. So, it's kind of hard to manage the hygiene department, whether they're actually doing that or not. You'll see it in the billings if it is. But on a regular basis, are they doing that to everyone? Now, if you're thinking about hiring a hygienist at the same time, you want to hire someone that's very charismatic, that also happens to have a little bit of background in sales, maybe. Retail sales even, or worked at a bar, any interaction with customers, and they understand there's a process to influence. There's a process to motivating people. It's not just something you can expect from someone. You got to instigate it. And so therefore they're a little bit more qualify for that, or just someone that's naturally charismatic. You can be naturally friendly, and that's one thing. Of course, that's a condition, naturally friendly. But to be naturally persuasive, that's another thing. You want them to have the ability to motivate people. So having the hygiene department constantly reinforcing you, and at the same time what you're saying, then you have the two components mixed in, and then of course that increases your treatment plan acceptance rate. Another thing is, of course, following up. This is where most dentists fail miserably. If you have 10 people calling in and inquiring about a $24,000 full mouth restoration, but only one books, what about the other 9? What are you doing with the other 9? Where are they going? How do you even know they existed? Are they following up? Are they put into a pipeline, an automatic system? That's 9 times, say, let's take the lowest case. They're just all one implant or something like that. So 9 times 4,000, $36,000 you just lost off 1 month. How does that make you feel, knowing that those 9 patients are going somewhere else, or they're not doing anything at all, and of course incurring more health problems? Now someone could say, some dentists would say, oh well, if their decision is to not go forward with any treatments, yeah, okay, they can sit at home, and when their teeth rot out of their mouth and they feel so much pain, they'll come back to me and it'll be an even bigger case and it'll be easier to sell. Yeah, but that's not, that defeats the purpose of a healthcare provider. The point is to get them in now. You don't want them 20 years from now. Yeah, okay, maybe it's going to be more production for your office. But 20 years from now, they're going to have no teeth left, and they're going to be eating steak from a blender, not chewing it. They're going to be miserable, and we want to prevent that. And by following up with them, by taking care of them, and by framing it such as they took the time to come and talk to you, let's get them in. Let's make sure they come in. And unless they tell us to get the hell out of here, we're going to make sure that they come in. Okay? Just try every method. So that's following up on your inquiries. And especially, that's for external as well as your internal patients that you presented your treatment case to. Are they not going forward with it? Okay, the insurance didn't cover everything, so who cares? It's their health plan, right? You want them to be fully aware of all the emotional impact it's going to have on them if they don't go forward with it. And that's the next thing is grease the pole. So I talked a bit about this in another video, but you want to make sure that the whole process is fluid. It's so smooth, and you want to make sure that there's no bumps in the road, that the patient goes from hearing about your treatment plan or contacting your office to getting the treatment